And then I have some important news for you.
Yes, I hear you.
All right, so my name is Spilly. I feel like most of you know me, and I know most of you. It's very, very good to see you here, and I'm so happy that you came out to support us. And I have two very important announcements for me, and hopefully for you as well, to make today. So the first announcement is about this medal around my neck. And I've been waiting to tell the people of Baltimore the good news because I was under contract not to tell anybody until a television show aired in Italy where I won a world record.
Yeah!
It is a Guinness Book of World Records for the people of Baltimore.
Yay!
And this record was for the most amount of rotations in 1 minute with a giant hula hoop, 3 meters big, so 11.5 feet, really huge one. And I did 64 rotations in 1 minute.
Nice.
With the hula hoop. To beat my competition, which was a fellow by the name of Dizzy Hips from the West Coast, excellent hula hooper, but Baltimore prevailed, East Coast rules.
Yeah!
The second announcement is that I am running for mayor. Now this announcement is really as much about you running for mayor as it is about me running for mayor. One of the first campaign slogans out of the gate is going to be you and Spilly for mayor. Or elect yourself, Spilly for mayor. As you may or may not know, the election is over 1,000 days away. So we have quite a long time. Now I can't tell you exactly how long it is away because the actual date of the next mayor's race is stuck in legislation. You'll be able to vote on it possibly at the next election, but then even then the state legislature, from what I understand, may turn things around. So we don't know whether it's going to be 2014, 2015, but whenever the next election is, I will be on the ballot, I will be running for mayor, and I hope to have your support. Now, I'm not going to get too deep into what this is all about today, because we're so far away from the actual date, but also because I would like to run this campaign in a very different way from the way that campaigns are usually run. I want this campaign to be 1,000+ days of civics lesson for myself and for anybody that I'm talking with about the mayor's office, about this run for mayor. I want to learn as much as possible about what a mayor can and can't do, about what a mayor is really about. And I want to try and break down some of the absurdity of what is going on currently in the political system, especially as it relates to local government and the way we run things around. So I'm not going to mention much about my platform, except to say this. I think that a political campaign should have some basic root ethic. And I'm going to pick the one that I feel like is at the root of everything, and that's love. So, you know, to my knowledge, I've never really heard a politician say, look, we're going to base this bottom line on the concept of love. But I feel like that's how you could actually fix a city, by starting in the right place, by dealing with the root problem. Beyond that, my platform does have something to do, or it's going to have something to do, as it idea that in the city of Baltimore, you have the resources to actually make all of the food that we consume. So we have the capability to grow it. Let me explain for just a second what I mean by that. About 2.5 years ago, we started a farm in the city called Heckle Farm. It's located in a quarter of an acre of land. But from that quarter of an acre, after only 2.5 years of experimenting, we've gotten to the point where we can produce enough food for our family to eat fresh vegetables from the ground throughout the year, and then some. And the production is just growing. We're having fun experimenting with different techniques about how to grow the food, and we're learning that you can make more and more food, figure out these ways. So that's our own little experiment. But now if you take it out to the greater communities of Baltimore, you'll see that we have available farmland everywhere. We don't see it as farmland because we're not there yet in our vision. But imagine this with me for just a second. So you have hundreds of schools in this city. Every school has acres of land. All of that land could be used for farmland to produce food, but also for science lessons for students who are not even getting any kind of real hands-on science. So the resources are right there in our schools. We have vacant lots galore. We have median strips. We have areas of green, parking lots that are unused. We have so much green land that could be turned into farmland. And then the third thing that we have is we have a lot of manicured lawns. Lawns that actually could be turned into farmland simply by growing tomatoes and potatoes and eggplants and okra and basil instead of trying to manicure this the grass, and all the resources that we put into that could be turned into food production. So that's one vision that I have for the city. But the job of mayor is a real job too. There's fire, police, there's trash, there's big developers to deal with, there's city council to deal with. I mean, there are so many issues to deal with. Some people might wonder whether I have the experience to actually handle all of this. Let's talk. I do have quite a bit of experience that maybe if you just know me as the hula hooper, or if you just know about our farm, you may not know. But I've been in Baltimore since 1967, since I was born. I've worked in Mayor Kurt Schmoke's office as a very young man. I've taught in city schools for over a dozen years. I'm currently still coaching the debate team over at Douglas High School. I got a lot of experience, I got a lot of ideas. In the end, though, the real experience and ideas have got to come from you. I'm not really trying to do this as just Spilly for mayor. It's got to be you and Spilly for mayor. Elect yourself, Spilly for mayor. So that's all I have for you today. We got plenty more time to talk. I really hope to talk to each of you at length about what it is that a mayor should do, what it is that a mayor should be. Clearly, it needs to be something different from the absurdity of what we have in the status quo. We're going to get there. That's it for me. I'll take any questions, though, if anybody has any questions for me. Why? I love my city so much. I really do, which is why Jess and I created Baltimore Hoop Love. You know, Baltimore Hoop Love is just simply about trying to make the city into a happier place, giving fun activity out, focusing on the idea of exercise and good health and being able to make yourself happier and healthier through your own will. So a lot of what we've done up to now with Baltimore Hoop Love is about that love. I've been teaching for years. I love the people of Baltimore. I love the kids in Baltimore. They are so filled with potential and brilliance. But I also see that, you know, there's a lot that we come up against. And to tell you the truth, I wasn't really gonna do this in a real way until recently, and this really hits the Y on the nose, until I started to cross paths with some of the current politicians, because just like Baltimore Hoop Love goes all over to events and festivals and communities, and we're all over the city, so do the politicians. So we cross paths every now and then. And seeing the absurdity of the way that they come and the way they present themselves made something click that just said to me, hey, we just need to do this differently. It was one event in particular that I saw a politician showing up like a rock star and doing the photo op, and it was about urban farms. I won't get into the specifics because I'm not trying to run any hatefulness in this campaign. It's all about love. And the person who got the photo op, by the way, is a fantastic hula hooper. I really love her. She comes to life, actually, when she's got a hula hoop on. Maybe I'm giving it away. But at any rate, at this event, I felt like farms were kind of put up on a pedestal as something that the city was really making strides with, and it was nothing but a photo op. Really, you know, we need a little bit more serious work. We need some actual shovels to be worked. I mean, this is not the kind of work that we're talking about is all up in the head and, you know, philosophical. No, we need to actually put our back into some of the work. So that event triggered it, but it's really many, many years of deep love for this city.
My question would be, what do you need? How can we help you elect ourselves for mayor?
I am not running for president. That's
a little carried away.
For, you know, many of you for president, absolutely. But no, what do I need from you? So here's my thought about this. Another thing that kind of motivates me in the idea of creating a political movement that is kind of different from the status quo is a pretty simple thing that really goes on my nerves. It just drives me crazy. And that's the fact that all my life, for every election cycle, it doesn't matter if it's local or national, all of a sudden, come September for the primaries or November for the general election, all of a sudden we see hundreds and hundreds of thousands of signs. And these signs have been bombarding my eyes every time elections come around. But what do they tell us? They tell us absolutely nothing except that here's some wasted resources. This candidate is in favor of red. This candidate is in favor of purple. Or whatever sign they have, but tell me the last time you saw a campaign sign that had any kind of an idea about actual politics or change or anything on it. So we have that. Status quo is like this really idiotic representation of the candidates through just really colors and symbols. Okay, so the difference in this campaign is I want this to be a completely word-of-mouth campaign. Don't get me wrong, we're probably going to end up figuring out ways to get some clever bumper stickers out there. To give you some buttons that say something like, I love you, Spilly for mayor. Something different, you know? But in the meantime, and really to the end, like we start the campaign this way, and we'll end the campaign this way. It's got to be about opening up deep veins of the grapevine word of mouth. It's got to be about whatever your particular social media that you like, getting it out there on those underground taps, talking to people, telling people, hey, there's this slightly crazy guy named Spilly who's running for mayor. It sounds pretty cool. What do you think about it? So get the word out there and keep in touch. I just wanted to start this out by telling some of my friends about it. Inviting some friends to check them out. That's just the first step. So the next step is really, I don't know, you tell me. I'll throw that question back at you. What can you do? Let's make it happen.
Thanks.
Last question. Any questions?
I care about dogs and bicycles. What would you do for them?
What do you think the mayor of Baltimore should do about dogs and bicycles? I mean, bicycles I particularly love because that's really talk about making a greener city.
Yeah.
And dogs I really love because, you know what, we're all kind of cohabitating on the planet together. And, you know, most of the dogs that I've known have been nicer than most of the politicians. I mean, nicer. I'm not saying necessarily smarter, although some of them are. You know. But what would you suggest, like, the mayor's position on dogs and bikes should be?
Well, I'd like to see us keep going in the direction of putting more bike lanes and, you know, and more bike racks and making the place more bike friendly.
We're taking a couple questions.
And dogs, I would say, you know, treat dogs as individuals. You know, not these sort of generalized blanket things, you know, all dogs are bad and, you know, we have to treat them all the same.
Right on. Well, and actually, I'm going to pull this to a close and let you guys have some fun or go onto the market. But I do want to give you one suggestion that is also kind of at the center of this campaign, which is this. We want to accomplish as much during this campaign as we might be able to accomplish while being mayor. So the idea is that, yes, a mayor can accomplish this, that, and the third. But really, most of what needs to happen to change this city is about, like, us ourselves, changing ourselves, and starting with there, and moving outward, and then seeing how we can then affect other people and other things. So some of the issues that, for example, are most important to me as a hula hoop maker and as a farmer to begin with, I'm going to address myself. I'm going to say, okay, so one of my big concerns is how much garlic can this city plant? I think that, you know, we get so much garlic from China, for example, that we eat from the grocery store. We have the capability to grow all the garlic that we consume in Baltimore. So that's one of my goals, but until I can actually make a difference with it, what am I going to do? I'm going to plant more garlic. I'm going to look into how I can affect bike laws in my neighborhood, what I can do to be a dog ambassador, which you already are doing. So, you know, that's how I would answer that question. All right, so that concludes it. Watch for more events. The events are going to be coming up left and right. You and Spilly for mayor. I love you.
All right.